Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Donald Field at Bison Stadium for today's non-conference matchup between the visiting La Roche University Redhawks and your Bethany College Bison. Before today's match, let's make the starting lineups. First for the visiting Redhawks. Goalkeeper, number 0, Kyle Rizzo. Number 2, Anthony Valero. Number 4, Mario Penilla Pump. Number 5, Mikel Medina. Number 8, Adam Mubarak Ala Hassan. Number 9, Jake Gorman. Number 10, Tyler Bryan. Number 14, Samuel Mastro Berardino. Number 16, Caden Malek. Number 17, Ryan Truex. Number 21, number 23, Blas Ayabar Nicholas. And now let's meet your Bison. Goalkeeper, number 23, Mateo Pentas. Number 2, Gregorio Lopez Aguala. Number 4, Valentin Ursino. Number 8, Salvador Isler. Number 11, Arnold Fontas Candida. Number 16, Lucas Puebla. Number 17, Sheldon Christian. Number 20, Deshaun Thomas. Number 38, Jaziba James. Number 66, Jazino O'Gara. And number 82, Rokiba Cordice. At this time, we ask that you please rise and please remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
We welcome you to Donald Field here at Bison Stadium for today's non-conference men's soccer showdown between the visiting La Roche University Redhawks and your Bethany College Bison. Great to have you here with us on this rainy Sunday in Bethany, West Virginia. I'm Drew Von Sayo here on the PAC Digital Network. The Redhawks are kicking off their 2022 season this afternoon and look to do so by starting on the right foot. Second-year head coach Anthony Russo is leading his young squad today and looking to show an improvement from last season. As for the Bison, they want to keep the winning atmosphere going. Led by fourth-year head coach Frankie Tall, Bethany has won its first 2 games of the season with victories over Mount Aloysius Thursday night by a score of 2-1 and defeating Muskingum yesterday evening 4-0. Bethany playing its third game in the span of 4 days here to kickstart the 2022 season, done intentionally by Coach Tall, as he wants the opportunity to see as many members of his squad in action as possible. Looking to make it a perfect 3-0 start to the season with the reigning PAC champion title. Our referee crew here this afternoon: Alfonso Fajardo in the center, AR1 here on the near sideline, Greg Day, Andy Mannion, AR2 over on the far touchline. Roche will be getting us started here in the first half. Blas Ibar Nicholas set to complete the kickoff for the Redhawks. Of course, LaRoche had 2 preseason scrimmages to start the season against 2 PAC opponents of the Bison, Teal and Grove City. Our goalkeeper matchup today: Mateo Pintus for the Bison, along with Kyle Rizzo for the Redhawks. We are underway here at Donald Field, as we see almost immediately LaRoche losing possession unnecessarily. And in the blink of an eye, the Bison cough it right back up. The Bison continuing to utilize the 4-4-2 formation with a very narrow diamond midfield. As for LaRoche's defensive 5-3-2 system here in effect today. The Redhawks continue to move the ball down the far touchline. Strong header there from Valentino Orsino, sophomore center back from Argentina, one of many from Argentina here on this Bethany Bison squad. Lopez Agawa can't save it from carrying over the line on the near side. Again, the Redhawks set for another throw-in. Just over a minute gone here in the first half of play. Mario Pinilla-Pont, one of the 3 defensemen for the Redhawks today. Native of Barcelona, Spain. Anthony Valerio completing the throw-in now for the Redhawks. Header won by Jaziba James out of Antigua, another popular country of choice for this large Bethany Bison squad, comprised of 51 players. Yes, you heard that correctly. 51 players on the Bethany men's soccer team this season. So we get offside call on the far touchline. Bison leaving just a bit too soon. Now some discrepancy as to where the ball is going to be set up. Greg Day on the near sideline held his position firm. The Redhawks tried to pick up a few extra inches in terms of ball placement on that free kick. And again, it's headed away by the Bison and out for a Redhawk throw. See Jake Gorman sending the long throw in after motioning several members of his team into the box. Deshaun Thomas is sent flying. A hard challenge there. Referee Alfonso Fajardo immediately signaling for the clock to stop. And now it'll be Thomas who's shown the yellow card for the challenge, despite appearing to have taken the brunt of it. Slow LaRoche getting the opportunity here with an early chance on a 35-yard free kick. Rather, 30 yards. Deshaun Thomas getting his first start in the Bison uniform out of Virginia Beach, product of Kempsville High School. Less than 3 minutes into the game, already in the book of Alfonso Fajardo. Free kick there, taken, sent over the crossbar, courtesy of the right foot of Anthony Valerio. The Bison able to take a big sigh of relief as the early dangerous chance, courtesy of the free kick there. Lopez Ogawa finally able to corral it as Isler takes hard contact there on the near side, courtesy of Jake Gorman. Play on, says Alfonso Fajardo. Cordice using his size there, all 6'4", as the Bison look to try and settle this one down a bit. Rather wild start here for the Bison as Gorman able to win possession, but not before clipping the ankle of Bison captain Sheldon Christian here this afternoon. One of 3 captains designated by head coach Frankie Tall, the others being Sebastian Arrowcane and Adis Salahovic, not in uniform here this afternoon. Nice composure there from Lopez Ogawa as the Bison now start to work the ball around. Argentinian connection there of Ursino to Isler. And a beautiful piece of skill there from Lopez Ogawa. The ball will deflect there off of the right leg of a member of the Red Hawks. The Bison set up for their first corner of the afternoon was Ryan Truax. Had that ball deflect off of his body. Now we get to see first dangerous attack here for the Bison just over 5 minutes into the first half. Jazino Guerrero set to send in the cross off the head there of Cordice and through the field goal upright out for a goal kick. Chance squandered there for the Bison. Cordice relatively unmarked there inside the penalty box. Able to come away with a clean header, just could not drop it down beneath the white crossbar. See Kyle Rizzo urging his squad forward. It's the booming goal kick. Flicked on there by Brian, and now scramble for it, finally corralled by Cordice. And the Bison simply going to reset all the way back to the goalkeeper Pintos. And now a little bit of pressure as Ursino doesn't necessarily weight that pass appropriately. Pintos just has to scramble, sends it out for a corner kick, and in the blink of an eye, you go from one corner kick for the Bison to a corner kick for the Red Hawks. Again, have another dangerous chance. See some tussling there inside the 6-yard box between Christian and Samuel Mastro Berardino, freshman out of Jeanette, Pennsylvania. Ball sent in. And now Jazino Guerrero able to win a foul, and the Bison again able to breathe a sigh of relief as a dangerous chance gone by the wayside for La Roche. As mentioned in the pregame show, the Bison coming off of a pair of wins. Scored 6 goals through the first 2 games of the season with just 1 conceded. And the Bison have had 6 different goal scorers in the process. Run through that list of names here for you. Both strikers for the Bison already on the goal sheet, including Lucas Puebla, Arnold Fontes Candida, along with Santiago Bruni not in uniform today. Jack Sella, Sebastian Arrowcane, and EJ Agri. So the Bison in the early goings of the season spreading the wealth around in terms of the goal scoring. As mentioned as well, LaRoche in its 2022 season opener. A brilliant ball there from Ogero to Lopez Ogawa. And now misplayed there by Ryan Truax. Bison able to regain possession once again. As Malik sends that one forward, headed back into play by Ursino. And now Jaziba James trying to work his way down the far touchline. Winning possession back once again. A little bit of a erratic start here for both sides as Ogero puts a little bit too much on that ball, trying to find Lopez Ogawa down in the corner, and LaRoche will set up for another goal kick. Mentioned as well, LaRoche looking to improve upon last season. Under second-year head coach Anthony Russo, just one win last year for the Red Hawks, a 3-1 decision over Hilbert early in the season. Of course, LaRoche, a very young squad to this point with a lot of international presence, just as the Bison are. Playing with a little bit of fire there were Lopez Ogawa and Salvador Isler. It's a beautiful through ball there from James to Deshaun Thomas, and a big save there from Kyle Rizzo, sliding out, kicking that one out of play on the far touchline. The Bison starting to apply some pressure. Deshaun Thomas was looking for his first goal in Bethany green and white. That moment will have to wait at least a little bit longer. Now Thomas sending in across to the back post. Lopez Ogawa trying to get there. Thought he saved it, but Greg Day on the near side ruling that one carried over the end line and out for a goal kick as we've played 10 minutes here in PAC/AMCC soccer action between the Bison and the Red Hawks. So this game originally slated to take place down on the historic Hogue Field, but due to the rain in the early portions of this morning, the game was set to be moved up here to Donald Field. As Puebla leaves a little bit too early there, flagged for offside, and now trying to plead his case to Alfonso Majarto, who just continuing to wave off Puebla. Brilliant feed there on the far side, finding the feet of Brian, and now a scramble for it inside the penalty area. Christian going to be the guilty party, committing a foul just on the edge of the penalty area. And now Majarto signaling to stop the clock. As now Sheldon Christian shown a yellow card for that challenge. So the Bison 11 minutes into the first half with 2 players in the book already. One of the areas that Coach Tall, Coach Corridon talked about being important this season were avoiding yellow cards, and through the first 2 games in 11 minutes, that has certainly not been the case. As the Bison are edging closer towards the double-digit tally of yellow cards already this season, if they haven't met that threshold. Certainly not one that they want to see themselves in again as well. Got 3 members of LaRoche squared up around the ball, including Jake Gorman, along with Anthony Valerio and Blas Ibar Nicholas. It'll be Ibar Nicholas firing towards goal and just whizzing past the post to the right of Mateo Pintos and out for a goal kick. LaRoche has been applying constant pressure to the Bison in the early portions of this one. Had several key opportunities courtesy of a pair of free kicks and corner kicks. Free header there for LaRoche off the head of Anthony Valerio. Rather unusual for the Bison not to be at least contesting for the loose ball as Arnold Fontes Candido wins a throw, deflecting that one off the legs of Ryan Truax once again. Very direct here between the two sides. Lucas Puebla trying to keep it in near the end line, does so successfully, and now LaRoche able to win a free kick inside their own penalty area as Puebla a little bit too aggressive there, working against the LaRoche defense. Kyle Rizzo making his Red Hawks debut, just sending that goal kick long. Freshman out of Westchester, New York. Is Jaziba James in a little bit of pressure there, just sending that one away from danger. Applying the pressure for LaRoche. Samuel Mastro Berardino, Hempfield High School product. One of 12 freshmen on this LaRoche men's soccer team. Pintus will let that ball carry over the end line. And again, the Bison set for a goal kick. See Pintus, the sophomore from Cagliari, Italy, urging his squad forward, now trying to play out of the back. As Isler again takes some contact there, but play on, says Alfonso Fajardo, signaling that it was in fact the ball struck before Isler. Again, ball carrying over the end line. The Bison going to let it out for a goal kick. Pintos very much frustrated there, trying to take the goal kick quickly. LaRoche reading it, recognizing the build-up play of the Bison, now sending Pintus long. Deshaun Thomas taking some contact there in the back, courtesy of Truax, but keep playing as there's a nice bit of skill from Jazino Aguero. Errant pass from Lopez Ogawa. And now the pinball effect goes back into play as it's a scramble between both sides. Finally corralled by Ibar Nicholas. Mastro Berardino working against Jaziba James, and James brings him down inside the penalty area as the Red Hawks try to plead their case for a penalty kick, but Alfonso Fajardo awarding the corner. Here's some shouts from the visiting bench trying to plead their case as well, but Jaziba James getting the tackle just right. Certainly needed to be spot on. Driven ball sent into the penalty area, deflected away, and now the shot taken well wide of the post to the left of Pintus by Tyler Bryan, junior out of Avonworth High School in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Bison this time able to work it up through the back, utilizing Rukiba Cordice in the holding midfield role as Arnold Fontes Candido wins a foul on the far side. Both sides still looking for any sort of light here in terms of a goal or a dangerous shot as Zeno Aguero takes some contact, now driving into the penalty area. That one sent out of play by Adam Mubarak Al-Hassan, sophomore out of Ghana. And the Bison win a corner kick. LaRoche mentioned there, very diverse squad. 7 different countries represented by the La Roche men's soccer team. So Guerrero sends the ball tailing away off the head of Fontes Candida, and that'll trail well wide and out for a goal kick. See Anthony Russo, head coach of the Red Hawks, very active on the near touchline, providing instructions, particularly to his 3 central defenders. Of course, before taking over the program, making it his own, Russo serving as the assistant coach for 2 seasons. Lopez Ogawa looking for feed as he finds the feet of Lucas Puebla, known throughout the PAC for his solid hold-up play as a striker. And now a scramble for the loose ball once again. Isler winning the free header, and now the Bison trying to calm things down once again. Too much on the pass there from Thomas to Isler, but great technical work from Salvador Isler to corral that one, and now Fontes Candida, the one who loses possession. Strong challenge there from Valentin Ursino, one of many members of the Bison squad, tabbed to the PAC preseason players to watch list. Ursino in his 2nd season out of Buenos Aires, Argentina. Was a key member of the Bison winning the PAC championship just a year ago, including the goal in which he scored in the first round of the NCAA Division III tournament. And Bethany was defeated by John Carroll 3-1. Miscommunication there on the near side, and Gregorio Lopez Ogawa says thank you very much as Fontes Candida sends the ball to the far side. Puebla leaving that one for Salvador Isler, trying to get his way inside. He'll take a shot that deflects off of a pair of Red Hawks and spins calmly to the feet of Kyle Rizzo. And now patiently awaits some pressure for the Bison before deciding to ultimately pick that one up into his hands. As the punt there from Rizzo, well off the mark, carrying into the Bison bench. Christian looking for an option. As Fontes Candida able to head that one back to the feet of Cordice. Beautiful through ball there to Jaziba James, sending the cross in, and that one sent over the crossbar by Mubarak Al-Hassan. And now the Bison starting to apply a little bit of pressure with another corner kick. You see Jake Gorman coming to the near touchline, getting some instructions from head coach Anthony Russo. Relaying them to Gorman in an attempt to allow Gorman to explain it to the other 10 members of his squad. Cross sent in from Oguero, off the head there of Fontes Candida, and the strong defense there comes to the rescue of La Roche with Samuel Mastro Berardino right on the goal line. And now the Bison quickly trying to take the throw in. Possibly a second ball onto the playing surface. Lopez Ogawa being urged forward to take the throw by Alfonso Fajardo. Typically you see players being told to move back. Rarely do you ever see a referee instructing players to move forward. Typically referees take the laissez-faire approach of, if you want to take it further back, be my guest. Nice 1-2 there between James and Thomas. Now scramble for it on the far side, controlled by Isler, as the Bison have started to settle things down here. Just under the halfway point of this first half. Little flick there off the right foot of Fontes Candida. And now Pania Pont sending that one as far and away as possible. Fontes Candida again working on the far touchline, and he'll win a free kick in the process. Again, it was Pania Pont who was the guilty party there for La Roche. As a matter of fact, it was Mubarak Al-Hassan who sent the long ball away for the Redhawks, who continue to have a pair of substitutes warming up behind the bench. The Bison with several members warming up behind the goal. Whipped in there by James. Deshaun Thomas able to get a free header and calmly collected by Kyle Rizzo. With the Bison immediately dropping back. Rizzo going to play it short to Jake Gorman as we see him dropping back into the wingback role. Started the game as one of two strikers, and now long ball played forward by the Redhawks. Ibar Nicholas on the receiving end and fires one calmly into the hands of Pintos. And now the Bison looking to build up possession once again. So far to this point, the rain has held off. A little bit of sprinkles during warm-ups, but while the game has been going on dry to this point, as the Bison going to throw in Mubarak Al-Hassan. A strong challenge in there on Jazino Aguero. Strong but clean. Fontes Candida, a little bit of 1-2 with Lopez Ogawa. Both sides still looking for a breakthrough goal. Cordice using his body perfectly there, allowing Bethany to maintain possession before Christian gives it away without any sort of pressure. Pueblo winning it back beautifully, and Salvador Isler wins a free kick just beyond 35 yards out. We see Cordice trying to move this one forward slightly, but Alfonso Fajardo very diligently moving the ball back. Cordice set to take the free kick, drives it right into the four-man Red Hawk wall, and able to regain possession. James taking it down the touchline, draws some hard contact, and Jaziba James able to win a free kick. And now a stoppage in play after that ball was launched into the grass between Donald Field and the softball field here. Fajardo just giving a warning there after that ball was sent away. James's cross whipped in, sent back out of play. Isler having to go and retrieve that one. Isler lets it out for a throw, and the Bison once again continuing their spell of possession, just trying to slowly but surely break through this Red Hawk defense. I'm talking to Coach Russo pregame, the 5-3-2, very defensive system for La Roche. Red Hawks very compact as well, as Lopez Ogawa flicks that one on. Mubarak Al-Hassan tries to play that one back to Rizzo, and Rizzo quickly off of his line, able to send that one away. Thomas gathering the loose ball, trying to drive inside. James firing a shot, deflected back to Isler. More pressure here from the Bison, and Isler gives the ball away cheapishly. Overhitting it there off of Lopez Ogawa. Gorman working it down the near touchline. Appeals from the Bison bench, trying to rule that ball was out of play. Ibar Nicholas with a bad touch, and the ball sent calmly into the hands of Mateo Pintos. Diving down to his right. Rather routine save for the Italian goalkeeper of the Bison. Errant pass there from Deshaun Thomas as he and Fontes Candida not quite on the same page. See raindrops starting to fly a little bit here in Bethany, West Virginia. Just over 18 minutes left to play in the first half. Thomas able to get a touch on that loose ball, but carrying into the Red Hawk bench. See the Bison readying a pair of substitutes, changing out the pair of forwards, and LaRoche going to be sending 2 substitutes up of their own. For the Red Hawks, it'll be Jeffrey Mba along with Michael Karikari. For the Bison, it'll be Jack Sella and Nathan Greaves. And with that ball carrying over the far touchline, 4 substitutes will be able to make their way on for the respective sides. For the Bison, Fontes Candida, Lucas Puebla making their way off. As for LaRoche, we see Tyler Bryan heading to the bench along with Samuel Mastro Berardino. All 4 players substituted getting recognition from their respective coaches. Berardino especially getting appreciation there from Anthony Russo. As Mikel Medina wins the header off the throw-in of Jaziba James. Medina out of Bilbao, Spain. Greaves using his body there to shield the ball, sending a through ball into the penalty area, but just out of reach there of Jazino Aguero, out for a goal kick. Greaves, the lone member of the Bison squad from Granada. It's the Bison represented by more countries than you can imagine. Rizzo sending that goal kick long, and scramble begins as it's flicked on between members of the Bison and the Red Hawks before being corralled by Roquiba Cordice. Play on, says Alfonso Fajardo. And now James having to backtrack a little bit. Kari fresh off the bench, getting his first touch of the ball, and now able to shield that one out for a Red Hawk throw. Cordice dealing with some pressure there of Jeffrey Mba. Solid technical work there by Nathan Greaves. The Bison work the ball around. Aguero trying to play a through ball into Jack Sella. A step or two in an offside position, and the flag went up on the near side of Greg Day. LaRoche had 1 possession, but Day popping the flag and allowing the Red Hawks to get a little bit of breathing room. As Rizzo, for some reason, just launches that ball very deep. In a way, ends up working in his favor as the Bison now pinned deep inside their own defensive third. Now scramble for the loose ball as we see Ivor Nicholas trying to flick it in centrally. Christian reading it like a book. Jaziba James again on the far touchline, playing it to the corner flag for Greaves. It's cleared away by Mikel Medina. And now we see his 3rd substitute set to check in for the Bison. Pablo Aguilera checking in for Salvador Isler. Aguilera out of Madrid, Spain. Thomas whipping a ball into the penalty area. Well out of the reach there of Rizzo. Going to let that one drop onto the track for a goal kick. We see Aguilera for the Bison out of Madrid. And for La Roche, Pinilla Pont out of Barcelona. Of course, big rivalry over in Spain between Real Madrid, FC Barcelona. And Anthony Valerio flicking the goal kick out of play on the near side. Lopez Agawa has to wait a few seconds before taking the throw in, as we had a second ball carry onto the field of play. Greaves taking some hard contact there, quickly winning free kick for the Bison with just 13 minutes left to play in the first half. Still no score here at Donald Field at Bison Stadium. Aguilera getting his first touch of the ball, as Medina will send that one well out of play on the far side. Strong contact there that Greaves handles appropriately in the penalty area, but all clean as Sheldon Christian takes care of a dangerous long ball. And Orsino delivering a long ball of his own, able to find the feet of Jaziba James. James dancing, trying to work his way around Medina, gets to the inside. Scramble for it, Sella laying it off for O'Garo. Whiffs at it, and now La Roche looking to quickly counterattack as Christian goes in. The sliding challenge, and now Gorman able to win it cleanly. Strong challenge there from Valentin Orsino. That'll fire up the Bison crowd. And now we go the opposite way. O'Garo taking some contact, and now Jack Sella taking some hard contact, courtesy of Adam Mubarak Al Hassan. And Sella clearly in some discomfort as Mubarak Al Hassan talks things over with Alfonso Fajardo, our referee. No card being shown to this point, as Mubarak Al Hassan gets brought over to the touchline. Quick instructions from Anthony Russo. Can imagine a little bit of that conversation being something along the lines of, calm yourself down. He knows your name now, and if it continues, you're going to find yourself in the book. We are just under 12 minutes left to go here in the first half. Sella back up on his feet. Will be staying on, but has to step off the field of play before being ushered on by Alfonso Fajardo once play has restarted. And now Sella able to get his feet back onto the field of play. Bison winning another throw. Deshaun Thomas trying to play a little bit of tiki-taka there, and La Roche quickly countering. Gorman searching for an option, trying to switch the field of play. Able to find the feet of Ibar Nicholas. Through balls cleared away into the bleachers on the near side by Jaziba James. Of course, Jake Gorman, Mikel Medina, the two members of the La Roche Redhawks who were listed on the AMCC players to watch list. Of course, Medina starting all 13 games for the Redhawks last season. Gorman just laying that ball off to Mubarak Al Hassan, tallying 11 points, courtesy of 5 goals and an assist. Cordice will bring that one down, using his size to cleanly win the header. So we see Jazino O'Garo in the midfield for the Bison. It's been there all 3 games. Was a part of the back line for the Bison last season, now being moved into the center midfield. James will find Thomas trying to drive in centrally. 1-2 between Thomas and Sella. Now miscommunication there between Sella and Aguilera. It's Lopez Ogawa, errant pass there, intercepted by Mubarak Al Hassan. O'Garo dancing, trying to find something, and Deshaun Thomas able to save it on the far side as we've reached the point of the first half where we're under 10 minutes of play. Cordice calmly able to win back possession for the Bison. Aguilera trying to play it through beautifully. Overhead kick there by Mikel Medina. And now Aguero with the long ball over the top, well out of reach of Aguilera and Sella. Another goal kick for La Roche. And to this point, Anthony Russo's 5-3-2 has been working thus far. Defensively compact, limiting the opportunities of the Bison as Noel Vivas set the check-in for Bethany. Next time the ball goes out and the Bison will be regaining possession as there's a beautiful piece of skill from Deshaun Thomas. Little drag back and pass behind the legs as Aguero hits one from distance, and that'll tail wide and out for a goal kick. And despite the goal kick, it appeared that Noel Vivas was going to be waved on, and Alfonso Fajardo going to allow the Bison to make the substitution as Vivas will check in for Deshaun Thomas. Vivas, the freshman out of Salta, Argentina. Getting on just over the 8-minute mark of the first half. 8 minutes to play, I should say. As Medina calmly heads that one back into his own penalty area. Russo able to gather that with his hands, and La Roche will get the opportunity to pick up some breathing room as Rizzo able to beautifully find the feet there of Anthony Valerio off of his punt. And now we see Jake Gorman on the opposite side in the wing-back role. A little bit of a rotation going on between Jake Gorman and several members of his team still in possession. Now challenge there by Jack Sella. Play on, says Alfonso Fajardo. And Jake Gorman a little bit slow to get back up on his feet. Anthony Russo trying to plead his case for a free kick, and Sella in on goal, but Rizzo quickly out of his box, able to clear that one away. Take some contact from Sella in the process. We play on as Rizzo got a nod of approval from his center backs. The Bison still in possession, trying to break through. Cross there from James, blocked right to the feet of Aguilera, whipped in brilliantly. That'll deflect there off of Anthony Valerio over the end line. Another corner for the Bison. See both center backs for Bethany being urged into the penalty area. Sheldon Christian, Valentin Ursino. Center back position one in which the Bison are very deep. Of course, two of them, Nacho Cafferata along with Santiago Bruni. And now Sella taking some contact in the penalty area, causing Alfonso Fajardo to stop the clock, issue some warnings to both sides. You know, keep the arms down. Typical conversations that arise at some point in a collegiate soccer match during corner kicks. As Rizzo got a little bit tied up there by some of the Bison trying to win a free kick. Aguero sends that ball in off the head of Ursino. Save made by Rizzo. Cordice with the putback attempt. It's wide of the post and out for a goal kick. The most dangerous opportunity yet for the Bethany Bison, and they cannot capitalize. Just under 6 minutes to play in the first half. We see another substitution for La Roche as Zach Bowerly, senior out of Sarah Catholic High School in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, makes his way on for Anthony Valerio. Two strong hands there from Kyle Rizzo on the original shot of that dangerous chance. Cordice will flick it to Nathan Greaves, who is immediately pushed over, and a foul in the back as Alfonso Fajardo signals for a stoppage of the clock, and we might have first member of the Red Hawks to make his way into the book, but just as I say that, it appears to simply be a warning for Mikel Medina. Mubarak Al-Hassan trying to utilize the overhead kick as that ball deflects off the head of Nathan Greaves and calmly into the hands of Kyle Rizzo. Appear to possibly have had some head-to-head contact there between Greaves and member of the Red Hawks defense. Clock finally stopped, so we'll wait to see significance of the injury. I believe it is Mario Pinilla-Pont took the brunt of that collision, and that's exactly who it was. Helped up to his feet by Jake Gorman. And now play has resumed as Rizzo urges his side forward. Booming punt flicked off the head of Gorman, and now Christian trying to bring it down. O'Garo takes hard contact in the midfield third, and the Bison able to win a free kick once again. You can just tell there by the facial expressions of Bison head coach Frankie Tall sending that ball back into play. He has been far from pleased as a result of first 40.5 minutes of play here, as the cross from James is deflected, and Bison gaining possession once again as the effort from Cordice skied over the bar and out for a goal kick. If you are Anthony Russo and the Red Hawks, certainly have to be proud of limiting the quality of opportunities for the reigning PAC champions. And again, the size of Cordice works in his favor as Greaves tries to lay that one off to O'Garo, sent out of play by Mubarak Al-Hassan. And the Bison still trying to knock on the door. Greaves trying to work that one through the legs there of Bowerly. And now Mubarak Al-Hassan taking some contact, hobbling his way back in line with the rest of his central defenders. Still walking a little bit gingerly there on his right foot. Certainly not the most pleasant feeling in the world of having either of your feet stepped on. Under 3 minutes to play here in the first half. Scramble for it on the far touchline. LaRoche finally able to gather possession. That's Malik, who ultimately deals with a pair of Bison in his back, that being Jaziba James Nathan Greaves, sending it out of play for a throw-in. James scanning, searching for an option, trying to find the feet of Jack Sella. Vivas will find Greaves, and Cordice trying to curl one into the top corner over the bar and out for a goal kick. Cordice cannot believe it. Just a little bit too much on the curler there. Rizzo was frozen like a statue. He's just going to hope and pray that one carried over the bar and his prayers were answered. Mubarak Al-Hassan trying to head that one as far away from his defensive third as possible, and now we're going to see the Bison try to work the ball around rather quickly. Ursino laying it off to his central defender partner in Sheldon Christian. Of course, Christian and Deshaun Thomas have already gotten themselves in the book of Alfonso Mojarto. Yellow card for Christian earlier, being his second of the season, as O'Garo plays a brilliant through ball trying to find Lopez Ogawa. And Rizzo coming out to claim it, just going to await some pressure from the Bison, and try and kill as much time on the clock as possible. Just as Jaxella got a little bit close, Rizzo ultimately deciding to claim the ball and send it along courtesy of a punt. Less than a minute to play as Noel Vivas takes some contact right back to his feet. 5-3-2 to this point, still keeping the Bison at bay. As LaRoche looks for one last potential counter-attacking chance. Jeffrey Mba laying that one off to the feet of Bowerly. Play on, says Alfonso Mojarto. Hard challenge there from Jake Gorman on Lopez Agawa. 15 seconds to play in the first half. Looping ball sent to the penalty area. Pintus able to claim that one without any pressure. And is simply just going to roll that one into the feet of Cordice, who will see out the rest of the first half as the seconds tick off the clock. Frustration from the perspective of the Bison. A dream start from the perspective of the Red Hawks as we have reached the halfway point in this one. No score between Bethany and LaRoche here at Donald Field at Bison Stadium, as it is all smiles for the Red Hawks. Looks of dismay from the Bison as they try to crack the code. We'll step aside here on the PAC Digital Network, and when we return, coverage of the second half in this non-conference men's soccer matchup. Back here on the PAC Digital Network for coverage of the second half between the visiting La Roche Redhawks and your Bethany Bison. No goals have been able to separate the sides to this point. We'll take a look at some halftime stats. The Bison, the dominant ones through the first 45 minutes of play, with 9 shots compared to 3 for the Redhawks. 3 on target for Bethany, 0 for La Roche. Kyle Rizzo making a trio of saves. Corner kicks favoring the Bison 4-2. Despite La Roche committing 4 times as many fouls as the Bison have, the 2 fouls the Bison have committed have been much more significant, resulting in a pair of yellow cards. Of course, we do have sides making their way back out for the second half. The Bison will be kicking off. We see many of the substitutes who made their way on in the first half getting the opportunity to start the second half. Jack Sella, Nathan Greaves, Noel Vivas, Pablo Aguilera for the Bison. As for La Roche, appears to be back to the original starting 11. Sella getting some final instructions from Bison head coach Frankie Tall before kickoff commences. And now Alfonso Majarto. Quick word with Coach Tall, possibly gave Coach Tall what appears to be earrings. You saw Cordice signaling out on the field, indicating that they were his. With that in mind, you know he played the first half with them in before Fajardo, I should say, finally recognized Cordice had them in. So we are back underway here at Donnell Field. Both sides still looking for a breakthrough. Ursino quickly clearing that one out for a throw-in. Again, a little bit of a scramble there for the Bison, just as they had in the early goings of the first half. Jake Gorman taking the throw, very long throw, launching it into the penalty area. Flicked in centrally by Mastro Berardino. And now the Bison looking to be the ones who counter as O'Garo tries to feed it into Sella. And that one was about 5 feet short of smashing the glass directly in front of me. Long throw there from Jaziba James as pressure from O'Garo forces Truax to just send that one over the near touchline and allow his squad to simply reset. Did not want to induce a turnover there. Vivas working beautifully with O'Garo and James, taking a touch around Mastro Berardino, and now Mikel Medina working against O'Garo. Hard contact in the back there, and O'Garo wins a free kick. In the 47th minute. Quality opportunity here for the Bison. See Ursino pushing his way forward into the penalty area. It'll be Jaziba James the one to hit the free kick, and now James simply going to ask for 10 yards with Mastro Berardino much closer than he should be. James will whip that ball in. Sella up with the header, bouncing calmly into the hands of Rizzo, who had to scamper a little bit after having that ball take a skip off the wet turf. Greaves was there trying to be the poacher, but Rizzo quickly got the gloves to it, and now Rizzo's punt well low off the back of Mubarak Al-Hassan, and chaos follows for LaRoche before finally sending that one as far away from goal as possible. Brilliant switch here for the Bison. Vivas going to O'Garo, trying to find James, but Mastro Berardino read it perfectly, who utilizes a nice bit of skill in the process. Valentin Ursino showing off the physicality there, working against Las Ibar Nicolas, product of Zaragoza, Spain. Strong challenge there from Ursino, getting a piece of the ball. And now LaRoche coughing up possession off the foot of Malik. Back pass there to Rizzo, has to quickly get that one away. The pressure from Sella was closing the gap between the two very quickly. Nice vision there from O'Garo, finding Greaves, checking centrally. Bison now starting to be a little bit patient in terms of working the ball around as Vivas goes in hard. Clean challenge, says Alfonso Fajardo. Now James trying to work it down the near touchline. Gets around Mastro Berardino, and the defenseman of the Redhawks gets the final touch before it carries over the end line. And the Bison have themselves yet another corner. Fifth one of the contest. Of course, it was a corner kick in which the Bison had their most dangerous chance of the afternoon towards the end of the first half, and O'Garo takes this one short before James's cross takes a deflection off of Jake Gorman, and LaRoche quickly looking to counterattack. That ball well out of the reach of Gorman. And now Pinto is simply going to take his time and await that ball to calmly hit the surface before attempting to play it. And now Bison trying to set up the attack again. There's a beautiful line-breaking pass to Vivas from Pintos. Launches that one forward, and O'Garo's called for the foul, trying to work his way around Mikel Medina. A little bit of a shoulder grab there by Zeno O'Garo. Simply retreats, well aware of the foul he just committed. Just over the 50th minute mark here in the second half as Rizzo launches that ball forward. Cordice able to get the head to it. And now Zeno O'Garo quickly driving forward, laying that one off beautifully to Nathan Greaves. Takes the touch onto his left foot. Brilliant save there from Kyle Rizzo, pushing that one far away from danger. And the Bison again trying to find the breakthrough goal. As Nathan Greaves has been a difference maker for the white home side in his time on the field of play. As James whips the ball in off the head of Greaves, and he skies it over the crossbar and through the field goal upright, out for a goal kick. And Greaves cannot believe it. Just like Cordice in the first half. Clean header one. Just not able to drive it down beneath the crossbar, and you can see the Bison bench trying to continue to urge their side forward. They know it's coming. It's only a matter of time. Gorman able to gather possession after the header there of Zeno O'Garo, who brilliantly shields Gorman away from the ball. And the Bison able to gather possession once again. Aguilera checking to receive the throw in from James, and the Bison gather another throw. A little bit of an embracing moment there between James and Gorman, neither of them trying to be called for a foul. O'Garo gathers in possession, tries to play the ball to Aguilera, but well read by the Red Hawks defense. Mastro Berardino tries to play a ball down the near touchline. Just tails too far out of play. Possession back with the Bison. Brilliant turn there by Jazino Oguero. Oguero is still in possession now, driving forward. Laying that one off to Lopez Ogawa, who pushes forward. Vivas finding the feet of Greaves, just too big of a touch there. And Oguero fires a shot, diving save made by Kyle Rizzo. And the rebound falls to the feet of Jack Sella before being cleared away by Mastro Berardino. And again, out for the Bison possession. Believe it'll be corner kick number 6 coming up. With Christian and Orsino pushing their way into the box. Oguero will get the opportunity to send one in from the corner flag. Christian getting the head to it. Goal line clearance failed, and Sheldon Christian gets the Bison on the board. Just over 9 minutes left to play in the second half. And Sheldon Christian finally breaks through for the Bethany Bison as they lead by a 0 over the La Roche Redhawks. Jazino Oguero being credited with the assist as the Antiguan connection strikes again. You can just see the sheer joy of the Bison now, recognizing that they have finally found that breakthrough goal. Roche now needing to respond as scramble for it there in the midfield third. Laying it off there to the feet of Tyler Bryan was Anthony Valerio, and his shot misfired over the end line for a goal kick. Of course, when the Bison had the few attempts there by Nathan Greaves just a few moments before Christian's goal, the Bison bench knew it was only a matter of time before a ball hit the back of the net. And despite the 6 saves of Kyle Rizzo, the 7th attempt on goal was finally able to connect with the white netting of the frame. And the Bison now just about 35 minutes away from their continued perfect start as Medina tries to flick the ball off of Oguero and out for a throw, but Oguero keeps his footing, and Oguero tries to chip that one over the head of Rizzo, gets a palm to it. Vivas firing towards goal, and it's well wide of the post and out for a goal kick. And momentum now favoring Bethany very greatly. So you had a feeling once the Bison got one, was potentially going to open the floodgates. Anthony Russo tries to keep his squad shape intact here on the near touchline. Mastro Berardino, nice bit of skill there before Christian clears that one away. Greaves dropping into the midfield. Able to find the feet of Lopez Ogawa. Brilliant through ball there from Oguero to James. Again, the Antiguan connection, and James working it down the end line. Ball almost kept in play, but just running a bit too far over the end line and out for a goal kick. Indy Mannion quickly putting up the flag on the far side. Rizzo again pushing his squad forward for the long goal kick. Able to be brought down comfortably by Jake Gorman, and now Valentin Orsino knocking Gorman to the turf, and La Roche with a free kick. about 40 yards out. Stella now being urged backwards by Alfonso Fajardo. As the Red Hawks have a sub set to check into the game, that being Zachy Corey. As that free kick whipped into the penalty area, that'll carry over the crossbar and out of play for a goal kick. As the Bison survive a little bit of a scare. We saw it in the first half where LaRoche had a few strong chances on set pieces, being corner kicks and free kicks. Unable to convert then, unable to convert now as Corey makes his way on in favor of Caleb Malik. Cordice able to break the lines there to Jazino Ogero. You can just instantly see, as soon as the Bison win possession, all 5 defenders for LaRoche immediately drop back. We saw at times in the first half in which that back 5 looked to be a little bit of a back 3 with the wingbacks sprinting forward, trying to attack, and now almost has turned into a flat 5 defenders. Sella continues to fight hard, draw some contact there with Pinilla Pont, as now Ibar Nicholas breaks forward, working against Cordice. Cordice able to pick his pocket cleanly. Play it back to Pintus, but do have a stoppage in play with Mikel Medina down on the turf before being helped up to his feet by Pinilla Pont along with Mubarak Al-Hassan. Medina back to his feet, and we'll be handing off the captain's band to Jake Gorman before giving way for Caleb Malik. So Malik didn't really have much time on the bench before being called into action once again. Just over 31 minutes left to play. Pintus distributes that one brilliantly to the near side, able to find James with the throw, and James fouled near midfield just as we got a restart in play. We have a stoppage in play as a member of the Red Hawks sees yellow for the first time. Believe that'll go down against Blas Ibar Nicholas. Closest one to James, pulling him back by the shoulder. That's exactly who the card is against Blas Ibar Nicholas. Sees that ball carry off of his left foot and into the Bison bench for another Bethany throw. And now Ibar Nicholas needing to be careful, trying to avoid seeing a second yellow in the Red Hawks season opener. As Graves will lay that one off beautifully to Cordice, able to find Sella. That's Jack Sella, one of 4 goal scorers for the Bison yesterday in the decision over Muskingum. As Orsino quickly will take the throw, and Anthony Russo urges his side forward, but not before Tyler Bryan strips it away from Cordice, who recovers brilliantly. And now Jazino Ogero taking a push in the back there by Samuel Mastro Berardino. Cordice brilliantly playing that ball over the top. Controlled by James, trying to save it before carrying over the end line. Does so successfully. And then cleared away by Pinilla Pont. And now a long clearance there into the Red Hawks technical area, out for a Bison throw. Just under 30 minutes left to play here at Donald Field. The Bison goal courtesy of the head of Sheldon Christian, wearing the captain's band today for the Bison. As Lopez Agawa drives his way forward. A little bit of combination play between him and Greaves. And now Noel Vivas getting in on the action. As Bethany continues to try and break down La Roche further, who are sitting very compactly. Little deflection there, falls to Sella. Header into the gloves of Rizzo, but Sella again flagged in an offside position. So even if Sella had gotten it lifted over Rizzo there, the goal would not have stood. As we see substitutes readying for La Roche. Appears as if Mikel Medina is set to re-enter play, along with Michael Karikari, who will be checking back in. Rizzo going to take his time in distributing before simply going long. Orsino with the unchallenged header. And now a long clearance sent forward into the penalty area by Truax. And now it's the turn of Mateo Pintos to take his time in distributing. Vivas scanning the field, looking for an option, able to switch it calmly to the feet of Jaziba James, who then finds Jazino Aguero on the near side. Aguero trying to break into the penalty area. Slightly big touch, cleared off the goal line by Mubarak Al-Hassan. And it'll be another corner with an injured Bison down in the penalty area. I believe it will be Jazino Aguero. Took some hard contact there. Trying to drive inside for having his attempt cleared off the line. Just over 27 and a half minutes to go here in the second half, as Aguero slowly gets himself back up to his feet. Possibly get some minor treatment before making his way back on. Rather, Aguero going to stay out there, not even make his way off the field. As Alfonso Fajardo pushes the Bison coaching staff back towards the bench in what would technically resemble a technical area. As La Roche has sent two more substitutes to be ready to check in addition to Medina and Kari. We will also be seeing Jeffrey Mba once again, along with another member of the Red Hawks, as that ball skipped into the hands there of Rizzo. Sheldon quickly gathering in possession, trying to find the feet of James, able to keep it in play with a sliding effort. Aguero now looking to calmly keep possession, going back to Valentin Orsino. And a through ball from Greaves finding Aguilera. Left-footed shot. Save made by Rizzo. Again coming up with a key big save. As now Lopez Agawa works on the far side, able to win a corner. Kyle Rizzo has been quite busy to this point and makes another crucial save there for the Red Hawks. As the four substitutes make their way on for La Roche, and originally Alfonso Fajardo and Andy Mannion ruling a corner kick, and then deciding to change their minds and award a goal kick to the Red Hawks. Bison able to gather possession up once again. Cleared away by Medina. Back with the captain's band on his left arm. James dealing with some pressure in the back for laying it off to Orsino, and then O'Garo can't corral it on the near touchline. Upcoming games for both sides, starting with the visiting Red Hawks. They're back in action in just 2 days' time on September 6th at 7 o'clock p.m. when they head to Beaver Falls to take on another PAC squad in the Geneva College Golden Tornadoes. And then Thursday evening having their home opener against the Waynesburg University Yellow Jackets. As for the Bison, they will have a tough slate of games coming up here as Aguilera's in on goal, onside. Aguilera shot, plays it across the middle. Greaves taps it in, and the Bison double their advantage. Tiki-taka counterattack play there from the Bison, and Greaves strikes here in the second half with just under 25 minutes left to play. Pablo Aguilera getting the credit there for the assist, laying that ball across the box. So we see Bethany set to make a substitution. Arnold Fontes Candida will check into the game for Jack Sella. As I was saying there before, the Bison quickly counterattacked. Bethany's upcoming games Wednesday night, heading up to Cleveland, Ohio, taking on Case Western Reserve University at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, and then having another weekend trip to Ohio, taking on Marietta College Saturday afternoon, and then heading up to Oberlin Sunday afternoon. As Lopez Agawa loses possession over on the far sideline. Cordice able to win it back, and the Bison gather in possession once again. Bethany with 4 members of the bench warming up behind the goal as Vivas plays a ball through. James trying to save it, does so successfully. Calmly into the hands of Rizzo, but James starting his run just a tad too soon and gets flagged for offside. So LaRoche able to get a little bit of a break there. Aguilera, a little bit of keep-ups before playing it back to Pintus. Contested header there. Last deflecting off of Jazino Aguero. Now Jaziba James trying to be a little bit too aggressive there with the header. Ball carrying over the end line off the foot of Jeffrey Mbaugh and out for a Bison goal kick. So it's Mbaugh and Kyle Smith, the 2 forwards currently for LaRoche. Was told pregame by Anthony Russo he would be wearing 21 and apparently decided to grab the number 11 jersey as Vivas plays the ball forward trying to find Fontes Candida, simply runs out of room. Cordice able to calmly control the ball there, and now Vivas under some pressure. Smith continuing to press aggressively. But the composure of the Bison holds strong as that through ball a bit too aggressive there, and it's calmly collected by Kyle Rizzo. Mubarak Al-Hassan trying to bring that one down before launching it forward. Lopez Agawa combining with Aguilera. Nice bit of skill there from Pablo Aguilera. Rizzo clearing that one away with his feet. And originally was going to be out for a Bison throw, but Aguilera starting his run fraction of a second before it was required and ends up in an offside position. Rizzo's free kick will carry over the touchline and out of play, and the Bison have another substitute readied. It's Ilyas Elalama, who will be checking into the game for Noel Vivas. Of course, Elalama from Raleigh, North Carolina, family origins of Morocco. Spent a year away from the Bison last year after being here during the COVID-19 spring season as Fontes Candida finds Greaves, and Greaves tries to curl one to the far post, and it's just wide out for a goal kick as Nathan Greaves was trying to double his goal tally on the day. Bison now 8 goals so far this season and 8 different goal scorers as Sheldon Christian, Nathan Greaves joined the list of 6 from the previous 2 games to this point, as Valentin Orsino wins a free kick in the Bison defensive third. Rather, it's going to be against Orsino, as referee Alfonso Fajardo originally pointed that it was Orsino who won the free kick and then simply decided to change his mind and grant the free kick to LaRoche, as Anthony Valerio will line up to take it just beyond 40 yards out. Under 20 minutes to play here in this contest, and Valerio's free kick skied over the crossbar and through the uprights as Anthony Valerio thought he was playing the other football. LaRoche set to make 3 more substitutions, trying to keep the legs fresh with a packed schedule of their own. As Elalama gets his first touch here in this one, tries to find Fontes Candida, not quite on the same page. Cordice able to intercept and play a through ball with the outside of his right foot. Fontes Candida firing towards goal. Save made by Rizzo. Cleared off the penalty area by Mikel Medina. And out for a Bison throw. And the 3 Red Hawks at the line will be joined by a 4th. Anthony Russo appears to be utilizing the 4-on, 4-off tactic for much of the second half. Valerio able to find the feet here of Kyle Smith before losing possession. The Bison simply going to recycle and start again, as Orsino unintentionally deflects that one to the Jaziba James, finding Jazino Aguero, who drives into the penalty area, and Jazino Aguero simply runs out of room, and the ball carries out for a goal kick as Aguero dealt with some heavy contact after carrying over the end line, and now the 4 substitutes make their way on for the Red Hawks, those being Zach Bowerly, Jake Gorman back into the field of play, Samuel Mastro Berardino, along with Blas Ibar Nicholas. LaRoche able to take the goal kick short this time, with the Bison dropping back to preserve their team shape. And just like that, the Red Hawks losing possession as Elalama able to bring the ball down, plays one into the penalty area, just shy of Fontes Candida, sent away by Mubarak Al-Hassan. Aguero with plenty of space, he'll lay it off into the right half space to Lopez Ogawa. Shot fired towards goal, and it hits the back of the net, but it'll be ruled out as several Bison were in offside position. It was Pablo Aguilera who would have had his first goal in Bethany green and white. But a pair of Bison, including Ilias Elalama, standing in an offside position, it obstructed the vision of Kyle Rizzo, and referee Alfonso Fajardo quickly ruling in favor of the goalkeeper Rizzo. As Aguilera this time winning a throw on the far touchline. The Bison thought they had struck for a third time, and we'll have to do a little bit more work here with just over 16 minutes left here in the second half to change that 2 from a 3 on the scoreboard here at Don Field. Almost coughed up possession in the process, but LaRoche still able to work it around as Gorman fights hard there in on Roquiba Cordice. Mastro Berardino appealing for a free kick, and Alfonso Fajardo going to give it to him. And now another chance here for the Redhawks. 40 yards out from goal as Lucas Puebla gets set to check back in for the Bison. Was one of the starting forwards for the home side in this contest. As Gorman, rather than firing towards goal, will loft this one into the penalty area. It's sent away by Reeves, and Mubarak Al-Hassan will launch that one right back where it came from, and Pintus will challenge Mikel Medina there. And Pintus is shaken up after taking some contact from Mikel Medina. And Sheldon Christian calling for a Tyler Hyatt of the Bison athletic training staff. It appears as if Pintus possibly landed awkwardly on the ankle, is back up on his feet, at the very least a solid sign. And now Pintus having a quick word with Tyler Hyatt, just ensuring that he is in fact good to carry on. Of course, Ada Salahovic getting the day off for the Bison today, so in the event Pintus could not continue, which for now does not appear to be the case, it would be Massimo Favetto who would take the field between the posts for the Bison. As now Lucas Puebla joined by Salvador Isler at midfield. Bowerly working on the far side along with Lopez Agawa. LaRoche able to gather the throw in as Puebla and Isler continue to wait. Gorman losing possession rather carelessly there, and Anthony Russo certainly feels the same way as Greaves has called for a high kick and a dangerous play at that. So now from about 45 yards out, LaRoche will have an indirect free kick. Of course, with being 45 yards away, would be a little bit ambitious of trying to drive this one directly on goal as it's sent into the penalty area by Gorman. Headed away by James. Second ball back in, flicked on by Medina, and Christian able to get the foot to it. And now Bethany looks to quickly counterattack as Aguero tries to save it on the near touchline and just carries out a play as LaRoche will get the ball right back. Puebla and Isler continue to be frustrated by not being waved on by Alfonso Fajardo. And now the appeals of Isler being recognized by our referee, and throw-in taken by Michael Karikari having to be ushered about 5 yards back. The Bison regain possession. Clouds continuing to form here, so we might see a little bit of showers towards the end of this one. Elalama playing it brilliantly to Fontes Candida onside. Fontes Candida trying to drive towards goal. Rizzo getting a hand to it, and it carries out a play for a corner kick. And with Bethany gaining possession, Lucas Puebla, Salvador Isler finally able to make their way on as Puebla will take over for Greaves. Isler taking over for O'Garo. Just over 12 and a half to play here in this non-conference contest. Elalama taking the corner kicks. Sheldon Christian trying to double his goal tally with a flick on towards goal. In turn, that'll be sent away by LaRoche, quickly trying to usher themselves out of their own defensive third, and the rain really starting to pour down now as Medina goes rather low for a header, and LaRoche dealing with some pressure. In the blink of an eye, we went from no rain whatsoever to pouring down rain for the final 12 minutes of this contest. Elalama on the left flank driving into the penalty area. Ilyas Elalama before firing towards goal. His effort sent over the end line by Michael Karikari. But Elalama apparently getting a late touch. Certainly not intentional. And LaRoche now able to gather with a goal kick. Rizzo's ball just a bit too far out of the reach of Gorman. Carry out for a Bethany throw. As two more substitutes are readied for LaRoche. Isler and James keep that ball inside the touchline. Those substitutes being Anthony Valerio and Tyler Bryan. Aguilera on the far side, drawing hard contact, and Pablo Aguilera able to win a foul, clearly in some discomfort. Clock continuing to wind as Aguilera back up on his feet, so now the Bison will have an opportunity from 30 yards out to try and tack on goal number 3. Of course, they thought they had it when Aguilera fired towards goal and tucked it into the back post, but multiple members of the Bison standing in an offside position and obstructed the vision of Kyle Rizzo overturned that goal. The cross is whipped in by Aguilera off the head of Ilyas Elalama, and it lofts into the back of the net. And now some discussion between Alfonso Fajardo and Andy Mannion. Quick word, and now this goal appears to stand. LaRoche trying to plead its case. And now again Fajardo going to have a word with Andy Mannion. Just as Fajardo gets out there, the goal in fact does stand. Ilyas Elalama getting his name on the score sheet with 10:05 to play in the second half. Anthony Russo hands up on the touchline in frustration, and he cannot believe it. Jake Gorman and the Red Hawks still trying to plead their case to Alfonso Fajardo as the substitutes for LaRoche and Valerio and Bryan finally make their way on, and two substitutes for the Bison make their way on in Leo Locatelli and Nacho Cafferata. So now again, 9 goals scored for the Bison this season. 9 different goal scorers. And nobody will be pleased with that more than head coach Frankie Tall as he continues to utilize his depth that he is so proud of having. Locatelli and Cafferata get their first touches here of the afternoon, and Isler is able to win a throw-in on the near side, deflecting off of Kari. Locatelli getting away with a little bit of a foul throw there with the back foot coming up, but Greg Day not catching it on the near side. Puebla sending a ball in centrally. Aguilera firing towards goal, And a diving effort there from Kyle Rizzo, but it's just wide of the post. And out for a goal kick as the rain continues to come down. Oh, when it rains, it pours, and it's pouring right now once again here in Bethany, West Virginia, as Joel Salomon Gomez heads to midfield. Gorman able to comfortably bring down the goal kick from Rizzo as Cafarata lays it back to Pintus, who just sends that one into the Red Hawk technical area. And now the Bison having to deal with another strong opportunity for LaRoche as Gorman brings it down. Just too big of a touch there. Cleared away by Cafarata. And now Fontes Candida looking to quickly counterattack as that one's touched away by Pania Pont. Isler able to find Fontes Candida once again. Nice bit of skill. And Fontes Candida taking a little bit of a shove there. And play on, says our referee, Alfonso Fajardo. Fontes Candida cannot believe that one was not ruled a foul. And now, in addition to Joel Salomon Gomez, we will also be seeing Jelani Lloyd as Rakiba Cordes and Pablo Aguilera exit in favor of Salomon Gomez and Lloyd. Just over 7.5 to play here in this contest as the Bison throw quickly turns into a LaRoche throw. And again, Locatelli lifting the back leg, getting away with it. A little bit surprised, honestly, to not see Anthony Russo trying to plead his case for a foul throw. Tyler Bryant tries to lay that one off to Jake Gorman. His pass intercepted as Sheldon Christian plays a through ball over the top. Slight deflection there by Mikel Medina, disrupting the path of Lucas Puebla. Out for Bison throw, and one more substitution to be made, rather two, as we will see EJ Agri make his way out onto the field along with DeFronte Braithwaite, as Agri will be replacing Sheldon Christian. Braithwaite going to be held for the time being on the touchline. We'll get the opportunity to enter in just a few moments. So to end the contest, the Bison transitioning to different formation as Puebla tries to deflect that one off of Kari and win a handball. Isler able to gather it right back. And now we see Frankie Tall pushing Braithwaite up towards the midfield substitution area, trying to get him on. Orsino, plenty of time, able to find the feet of Isler. EJ Agri getting his first touches. Agri, nice bit of skill there to utilize the outside of the foot, wanting it right back from Locatelli, who draws hard contact. Agri firing towards goal, and it tails wide of the line, but Locatelli, in fact, able to win the free kick. And the Bison again in a very dangerous scoring opportunity for Ilyas Elalama to whip this ball into the penalty area. Just over 5 minutes left to play here in the second half. 85 down, 5 to go. Bison 3-0 advantage over LaRoche as Elalama whips this ball in. Rizzo having to come to the rescue again, sending it out of play for a corner kick. And now DeFronte Braithwaite will make and Salvador Isler will check out for the Bison. Alfonso Fajardo stopping play there for the substitution as the ball's whipped into the penalty area. Cafarata getting his head to it and carrying over the near touchline for Red Hawks throw. Rather unusual there to see Fajardo stop play for the substitution, because the Bison aren't necessarily time wasting. It's just a matter of trying to get everybody some minutes as Locatelli loses possession there, and Jelani Lloyd able to come to his rescue and gain it right back. Salomon Gomez trying to find Agri. Mubarak Al-Hassan sending that one out for the throw. Salomon Gomez quickly taking the throw, finding the feet of Ilyas El-Alama, who's passed just a bit too far beyond the outstretched stride of E.J. Agri. And another goal kick for La Roche. Rizzo urging his squad forward for the long goal kick. El-Alama able to win it uncontested. Second ball sent back by Mubarak Al-Hassan. Agri applying some pressure there. El-Alama, a little bit of a skill move there, showing off the Maradona, of course, named after the famous Argentinian legend Diego Maradona. Fontes Candida fires toward goal, wide of the post, and out for a goal kick. Three minutes left to play here between the Bison and the Red Hawks. A game in which was a positive for La Roche to the first 45 minutes of play has been long forgotten, as the second half has been all green and white, courtesy of a trio of goals. Lloyd tries to find Salomon Gomez, and now appeals for handball given as Ilyas El-Alama the guilty party. Free kick taken rather quickly, but right to the head of Valentin Orsino. And now Bethany simply just trying to see this one out as Agri gets some extra touches there, and Fontes Candida again laying it off to Lucas Puebla, whose centrally feeded pass is off the mark. And now Gorman trying to bring it down, working against Lucas Puebla. A little bit of a jersey pull there from Puebla, and carelessness there from Jelani Lloyd allows Blas Ibar Nicholas to continue in pursuit, trying to work his way around Nacho Cafarata. And the ball ultimately ends up crossing the touchline for a La Roche throw-in. Minute and a half remaining on the scoreboard here is Locatelli, strong defense there against Ibar Nicholas. Cafarata's header back in centrally. Lloyd getting a second touch to it, trying to preserve the clean sheet for Mateo Pintos and the Bison. Would be back-to-back clean sheets for Bethany, with games less than 24 hours apart, as Agri really starts to slow this one down, trying to find Cafarata. Ibar Nicholas feeding Jake Gorman, firing towards goal, and Mateo Pintos coming up with a big save. Ibar Nicholas and Gorman cannot believe it. And now Pintos was fired up, frustrated by the whistle, and sends that one well on its way towards Hummel Fieldhouse. And it appears as Alfonso Fajardo was simply just checking on Ibar Nicholas and Gorman, ensuring that they were fit to continue, as that was by far the biggest save Mateo Pintos has had to make all afternoon, occurring in the final minute of play, making a key breakaway save there as Defonte Braithwaite makes a strong challenge, clearly winning the ball. La Roche not going down without a fight. Jake Gorman trying to drive into the penalty area. Valentin Orsino trying to preserve it from carrying over the end line. It does not. clock down into the single digits, and now it's a question of whether or not LaRoche even gets the corner kick off. It's just a scramble to get it inside centrally. Chance skied over the crossbar by Tyler Bryan, and that is all she wrote here at Donald Field, as Country Roads once again taking this Bethany men's soccer team home victorious, defeating LaRoche 3-0, courtesy of a trio of goals here in the second half off of the foot of Ilyas Elalama, along with a pair of Bison. Pablo Aguilera thought he had a goal, was ultimately ruled out. Sheldon Christian got the Bison on the board first with the corner kick, and then from there the floodgates proceeded to open for the Bethany Bison as we get set to wrap this one up here for you on the PAC Digital Network, as it was Christian's goal again. They got the Bison on the board in the 54th minute. In the 65th minute, just a short time later, it was Nathan Greaves firing and hitting the back of the net, and then Elalama in the 80th minute, ultimately sealing the deal for the Bethany College Bison. Take a look at some shots after the 90 minutes of play. Bethany dominating shots 23-6, and shots on goal 12-1. Kyle Rizzo, a huge factor for LaRoche in preventing this one from getting out of hand, making 9 very impressive saves. The Bison with the strong advantage in corner kicks, 9-3. And ultimately, Bethany keeps its undefeated season alive, starting a perfect 3-0 with 3 games in 4 days, victories over Mount Aloysius, Muskingum, and now LaRoche, as the Redhawks fall to 0-1 in the early portion of their season. Once again, upcoming games for both sides. LaRoche stays on the road. They head to Geneva College Tuesday night for a 7 o'clock kickoff before having their home opener Thursday against the Waynesburg University Yellow Jackets. As for the Bison, their next 3 are in fact on the road, heading up to Case Western Reserve University Wednesday night for a 7 o'clock kickoff, followed by weekend games in Marietta and Oberlin, respectively. That'll wrap things up here for us on the PAC Digital Network from Donald Field. The Bison defeating LaRoche 3-0 in non-conference men's soccer action. I am Drew Von Sayo signing off. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody. The Bison victorious, and the perfect start to the season continues once again right here on the PAC Digital Network.